So, this is Oculus Quest 2, and it's the Wander app. And here I am, 4,000 miles away practically from Southern Row, because I live in America now. But and it's a nostalgia walk for me. I mean, I go down these streets on this now and then just to be nostalgic. My cousin asked me to do a video on this. Now, there's any members out there that's got an Oculus Quest 2, you get to wander in, you can actually meet up in this and walk around streets and tours. Now, this is the bottom of Southern Row, where my nan used to live. I think my nan lived in Southern Row from around about 1947 to 1969 when her house got knocked down. This building is part of the old building at the bottom of Southern Row. I remember going up and down these steps umpteen times. Now here, I think this is, my memory serves me right, the Octavia House. And I seem to remember that this was just railings here when I was a kid. And I was a kid back in the 60s. Yeah. This is a new building, as far as I know. Because I don't remember it being there. Definitely don't remember that. And of course, these buildings are gone now. There used to be a pub over here, I think, on this corner. Now, this bit seems... I don't know why I don't seem to remember this as being here. It must have been here. Because I know that my mate Billy Waiting, parents had a shop down there. And XL5, the laundry, used to be down there, but I used to think it was more up this way. XL5 laundry. I remember coming down here when I was 4 or 5, carrying my nan's bag wash to the XL laundry. So I called it XL5. There used to be a kids program called XL5 when I was a kid. Of course, these was all houses. Now, a year or so ago, a couple of years ago, I thought this was the new Middle Row School. But I don't see any school signs on the wall now. Now here, this seems new to me. I don't remember it, unless I've just redone it and redone the windows and all that on here. So it could be one of some of the old houses. And this is totally new. New buildings here again. How things change here. This is Davis's all the way along here. My Auntie Ellen worked there, and my Uncle Harold, my nan, my brothers, sister worked there. My mum worked there for a while. All the family worked there at some time or other. So that's for my dad and my granddad. They didn't. They was truck drivers, lorry drivers. And this is the Prince of Wales as I remember it. Because I remember you used to mind cars here. I remember one night opening the taxi door right there, and the woman got out, asked me why I was minding cars. I said to get some money. She said, well, you don't look like you need money. I said, so I lied and said I was saving for a bike. And she gave me £1. And she went into the pub, and I've run all the way up the road to my nan's on a Thursday night with £1 in my pocket. My sister wondered where I got it, and I told her the story. And off they went. My sister borrowed some money off me, and off they went and got fish and chips from the Golden Road. Middle Rose School. Yeah, another thing I always remember as well, about 67, 68, and a fella pulled up here in a car, and me and my mate Mickey Barfield asked him, or is it Roy Gallagher, one of us? Anyway, we asked him to mind his car, and he said he didn't need minding, don't touch it, because it's got an alarm on it. And he went in the pub, and I said to me mate, well, do you think we're stupid, an alarm on a car? Of course, we leaned against it, and the alarm went off, and we ran up the road as fast as we could. With a fella running out of the pub and shouting after us and calling us what for. There's some old houses here that still stand. And there's a bus barn. I suppose you call it a bus barn now. Now, Was this part of the bus barn here? I can't remember. Was it houses? I think it had to be. Yeah, the bus barn went along here because that was the in for the buses. Well, this was the in and that was the out. And they'd come round, get a wash and all that, the buses. Middle Row School. Used to be here. Gone now. As kids, we used to come up here in the summer. We went to St Andrews, my cousins and that. And we used to come up here in the summer and get their school dinners. They never asked us if we went to the school. I'm not so sure if we supposed to have went to the school to get the dinners, but anyway, we used to get them. I used to like the puddings. Then up here, of course, there's a laundry still round here. The buses used to be parked along here. And it's called, what's this called? Let's see. Colin Street, West 10. Now, I'm not a one for remembering street names. I don't know if this is Colin Street or if it used to be North Row. I suppose it was always Colin Street. I just figured it would be North Row if Southern Row was down here. This would be North Row. So we used to play along the buses on the buses here as kids, and we never wrecked them. There was no ripping up the seats or anything when we was kids. Don't know if they do it now, of course. And then Churchill still here. And then my sister, Patsy and Ken, they was the first ones married in this church when it reopened, and the first ones baptised. Remember they coming up here? There was no railings when they started this church, and the old bishop were coming round here when it was opening and blessing the church. It's called St Thomas's, is it? This was a BH building, drugs building. Sister and that worked there. Black Pitch used to be here. Used to play football on there. And then that was a wreck. Used to be houses there, I think, beforehand. I remember when I was about 10 or 11, this was just a green field going there. There was none of all this. There was no gateway there. This gate was always open. You should go in there, and if it was pouring rain, we'd sit on the inside there. And these, where the benches are, out of the rain. Little pool that goes around. St Mary's School seems to be there, still to be there. I don't know if there's a bit part of the building missing. Could be wrong, of course. Now here there was Cottages, but I'm not sure if I can remember them being Cottages when I was a kid, because I remember seeing a photograph of Cottages here. I'm not sure if I'm thinking of the Cottages. Over here used to be the Coleman's place. On the corner here when I was a kid, I think one of the houses got bombed during the war here. When I was a kid it was a little gardens. And then they knocked the gardens down and it was a entrance to the wreck when they redone the wreck, and that was all grass there. And what I remember is Southern Row and the streets around, there was no trees. And my brother shut me in that door when I was about 3, because I wouldn't go home. I was following him and his mates. And he told me to go home, and he locked me in there only like for 2 minutes, seemed an hours. And anyway, he let me out and off I went home, because the reason being and all, over here, I can get over here, across the road here, used to be an old bombed out house. Well, and there was no windows in it, and we always used to think we could see a white hand and a black hand up on the window. It was haunted. When you're about 3, you believe stories like that. I didn't want to pass it, but anyway, I ran past. This was the Barkers and the Elliots used to live along here. Now, when they knocked these houses down, there was our own kind of adventure playground on the other side. which was just what we called the bomb site. Anyway, we built a big wooden well about 1967, 68, because these students come around working with the kids during the summer. And I think we set alight to that well as well. Caught fire. Of course, there's houses here. Now my nan's house. I can get up here. Used to be over here. I think there we go. My nan's house, number 5 Southern Row, used to be around about there. And there's a old lamp posts. My sister and that, when they was kids back in the 50s, used to swing on the lamp post. Bill's used to be over there. That was the Hollins. Street used to go down Bosworth Road, go down there towards St Andrews. Apparently this is a school now. There used to be a shop there where you got horse feed and that, and there was another shop across the road here, which I don't really remember, but I saw a picture the other day. Of course, the Derby pub. All done into flats now. Used to mind cars round here, and I can remember as a kid, if there was a fight and didn't start in the pub, they'd come out here in the street and they'd have the fight there. I remember standing watching the fight there once. Of course, all the houses used to go up there, but when I was a kid, they built these flats, and we used to go in the flats and play football. Now, the first trees they put along here, and I remember being on the, it was on the news, we weren't on the news, but it was on the news about these trees where the kids was breaking them, and who was trying to grow them. That was just hijinks, we weren't breaking them on purpose. Of course. Remember once being chased by my cousin, and I come running round here because these fences weren't here. Come running round here, looked round to see where she was, went straight into this balcony and cut my head open. And behind these buildings, there's parking spaces. Here we go. Around here, we used to sit on this wall, playing tag, or on it one night with the mates, and I was outside walking along the outside of this balcony, and my mate went to touch me and I let go and I fell down, sprained my leg. Luckily didn't break anything. Luckily I weren't from there. It was there. Looks like this wall could do with a bit of a tidy. And down here, this was all a parking lot, and we used to play football in here. Used to use this garage here as a goal. I suppose that was annoying to the people who lived in these flats. So we'd hang out around here. This was our hangout spot. So anyway, there'd be a lot of work going on here. And going up here, there's the old church, of Our Ladies. I don't know why I always think used to call it St Mary's. I don't know why. Probably out of the film Bells of St Mary. There's Hazelwood Crescent, and there's what's left of one of the houses, and the rest are just the new flats that they built. Made all parking spaces. There used to be some sheds here, knocked it all down. And then back up, all the houses used to come along here when I was little, and then they started knocking them down. No, I don't remember any buses on Council Road. Well, not bus stops anyway. I can remember the buses that would go round into the bus barn, but I never remember catching a bus on the Kensal Road. There used to be Richards across the road here. A shop. There was another shop over here. Oh, let's go round the corner here a minute and get round. Yeah. Here used to be Wedge Lake swimming baths. where I learnt to swim. I used to sit in the showers because it was a bit cold in the water. My brothers come running in, picked me up and threw me in the deep end. I soon learned how to swim then. Anyway, Kensal Road. Good memories. Hope you enjoyed it.